You were talking about those great scoring rates that Liam Cahill seems to have brought into Waterford, and I'll bring up the stats in a minute. But over the past decade, it's definitely been something post that unbelievable sort of maverick generation that Waterford had, where Milan, Dan Shanahan, Ken McGrath, Paul Flynn. You can keep naming all those brilliant players, Owen Kelly, but during 2010 to 2018, it dropped to just 22 points per game in the championship. That's not really championship winning scorelines. And in summer 2019, last year, it was just 18 points per championship game. So I'm just going to bring it up on screen here, and I'm not sure if you have it in front of you, but I'm going to bring it up on the screen here. So 2019, 20 points to 30 was the average scoreline. And between 2010 and 19, the average scoreline was 22 points to Waterford, the opposition 24. So even look at, and that included Davy Fitt's regime, Michael Ryan, it was 21 points to 22, Derek McGrath, 24 points apiece, so that more or less broke even. But Liam Cahill, in one season, his three scorelines combined against, and I've converted all goals to points here just for simplicity. Watford won are 29 points, the opposition are 26. Now that's games against three fairly serious counties in Cork, Limerick, and in Clare. So you'd have to say that can't just be a bit of an outlier. That's a bit of a change now. That's a serious change. We'll talk about Desi Hutchinson, but they've always had some fairly good forwards. Like, that is notable.
No, it's massive. Like, you're looking at this is like Liam Cahill, who was over Tipperary's side. Was it 8 goals they got in the All Ireland semi final against Wexford?
It was, yeah. Actually, just to add in there, the underage teams he had with Tipperary from 2016 to 2019, his teams put in 47 championship goals. Isn't that absolutely insane? That's nearly 12 a season.
Yeah, it's savage in fairness. Like, and it's just like you look at it and you're thinking about this is a Waterford side who scored 10 points in a home match against Limerick last year.
224 to 10, wasn't it?
Yeah, and they're getting they're averaging nearly 3 times that now under Cahill. It's just the energy he's brought to the whole thing, energy all over the pitch, and it's just this kind of ravenous almost kind of work rate where you know exactly the type of shift now that you're going to get out of each of the Waterford lads. And he'd be happy enough to take off Jack Fagan after an hour if he's absolutely emptied himself. Jack Fagan, who I thought was brilliant the other day, and showed him maybe another kind of string to his bow the other day. He's happy enough to take off Gleeson, in the latter stages if he's emptied the tank as well. Jake Dillon again comes off absolutely shagged after about 45, 50 minutes. You know what you're going to get with those guys now. And there's a lot of really, really selfless stuff going on where they're just creating opportunities. They're just making hard runs, making tankless runs for other guys to profit as a result of it. But we talked about before, we've said this before, like that Waterford maybe don't have that killer attacker. They don't have a Callanan, they don't have a Reid, they don't have a Canning, and yet they're averaging 29 points per game now. And it is a classic, like Stephen Bennett obviously is leading the line and hitting the freeze or whatever, but they're all playing to the one kind of a beat now. Do you know what I mean? Stephen Bennett has no problem setting up someone else. They're all doing work for other guys and they're all chipping in. If you look at their scores from the other day, Bennett got 3 from play, obviously got 7 frees. Hutchison got 2-2. Hutchison then set up a lovely goal for Jack Fagan. He got 1-1. Kieran Bennett got 3 driving through. Gleeson got 2. Barron got 2. Conor Gleeson came on and got 2. De Burke, Montgomery, Lyons and Curran. Like, that's some array of scoring. And particularly the goals, which we obviously hadn't seen any in the Munster final. We saw one, Kenneth Lyons today against Cork, but they really kind of went for the throat the other day when opportunities arose. And if anything, they're getting better. And that's really, really, like, from a Waterford point of view, I know that we're all very proud last Monday morning after the Munster final, but the pride has changed a bit more. The pride has changed now to, we can get a sniff of something here and we won't fear anyone, and it's exciting times for them.
Yeah, 12 different scorers, you've kind of named them out there. When you're coming in with 12 different scorers and so many different lads have come off the bench and they've knocked over their points, like you mentioned Conor Gleeson, but also Darragh Lyons, Patrick Curran, Neil Montgomery came in as well, probably had a couple of ropey moments but then actually turned it around and did quite well for himself.